my growth mindset. Math Maniac Panthers, math side. Let's go. Percents again in equations and applications, taking it to the next level, symbolically, so to speak. All right, so you tell your sister you're gonna go hunting ladybugs, but she can't go with you that day. And she says, oh, please, can you bring me some? And you said, I'll bring you 25% of whatever ladybugs I catch. 25% of all the ladybugs. Okay, so let's say you go and you catch this many ladybugs. What is 25%? Well, that's 20 ladybugs. What's 25% of 20? Alrighty. So 25, that of word there, that of, when you see of, that usually means multiply. I'm gonna take my orange. We're going to go with orange, multiply, orange, multiply. That means multiply, usually. All right, so we're going to multiply whatever this 25% means here. We're going to do it in fraction form, and we're going to do it in decimal form. All right, so what does 25% mean in fraction? Remember, percent means for every 100, per 100, 25 for every 100. So in the fraction form, we're going to go 25 over 100. Now we just multiply. Oh, how do you do this again? A fraction times a whole number? Oh, that's right. Put it over 1. 25, and we have 25 times 20. That's going to be, whatever that answer is going to be over 100 times 1. So 100 times 1 on the bottom, 25 times 20 on the top. And of course, presto, nothing up my sleeve like magic. I just did the problem right over here, and I got 500. So 500's on the top. Now on the bottom part, we have 100 times 100. So we did 25 times 20 and got 500. Now we're doing 100 times 1, and we get, of course, 100. And what is 500 divided by 100? We can do poofy magic trick. I love doing poofy magic tricks. 0 disappear, you disappear. For every 0 on the top, we can take away a 0 on the bottom. For every 0 we take away on the top, we can take away a 0 on the bottom. And it's like dividing by 10. Divide another one. And then what do we have left? 5 over 1. And we know anything over 1 is just itself. So we're left with 5. That's how many ladybugs. We're going to give my sister 5. That's 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 ladybugs for sister. And then how many ladybugs for me? That's going to be, how many ladybugs do I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 ladybugs for me, and 5 for my sister, a total of 20. That is the fraction form of doing it. We can also do the decimal form. Remember the decimal form? The decimal form is just moving the decimal over 2 spaces to the left. It's kind of like dividing by 100. That's what it is, because it's 25 over 100. Isn't that what it is? We're just saying 25 right here. 25 right here. 25 over 100 is the same thing as 25 divided by 100. And what is 25 divided by 100? It's the same thing as taking the decimal, no, 25. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. This is beautiful. This is, watch this, ready? If you take that 25 and the decimal right now, give me your decimal, you don't see it, right? But it's right there. It's hiding. And you move it 2 times to the left. That's the same thing as taking 25 and dividing it by that 100. So we can erase, because it's not here anymore. So that's what we put down here. We put 0.25. G point. And you know, by the way, there's another way you can know this too. How would you say this word? I guess my yellow doesn't come out too good here, so let's stick with orange. If you were to read this number, you would read 25, right? Because it's 2. And then what place is it in? It's not the tenths. It ends in the, what place does it end in, I should say? It ends in the hundredths. This is the hundredths place. So it's 25 hundredths. 25 hundredths. 25 out of per 100. 25 per 100. Oh, there's that times. Of means times. Okay, let's go. So what is 0.25 times 20? And so I just abracadabraed the work right over here, and I got 0.25 times 20 is 5. Well, I got the 500, but you remember you got 2 decimal place. So what do you call it? Decimal digits here. So you got to have 2 decimal digits in your answer. So that's why it just turns into 5, because I don't really need to keep the decimal there. I can just go without that. So it's 5, and you get the same thing. 5 ladybugs. Beautiful. There they are. Gorgeous. Now I like to think of this as money too. You might have even, some of you I'm sure already caught this idea if you like money. Let's break it down. How many quarters are in a dollar? 4 quarters, right? And how much is each quarter worth? That's right, 25 cents. 25 cents. Oh, cents. That's interesting. 25 cent. Percent, no. 25 cents. Oh, how many cents are in a dollar? I mean, $1 is 100 cents. 100 cents. And how would you write 25 cents as a decimal? You would just rewrite it like this, 0.25. Or you might put the 0 in there to be a little more, what's the word? 0.25, 0.25. That's just 25 hundredths, 25 out of 100%. Yeah, 25 cents, 25, or each is a quarter, fraction, 1/4, 1/4 of a dollar, 1/4 or a quarter. What you say 4 is a quarter, 1/4 of a dollar. So, and so when you go to fraction form, some of you might have said, you know what, 25% is 1/4. And then, then you just put that over 1 and look at how nice this is. That's just 1 times 20 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4. Now you just got 20 divided by 4. Now that's not so shabby, right? That's just 20 divided by 4, which is the same thing as 4 times something equals 20. And we know that is 5, 10, 15, 25. We get that 5 that way too. Just thought I'd share how beautiful these things can be. Here, 10 is 20% of 50. We're going to use this to help you solve any kind of word problem. So if this is 100%, this bar here, this whole amount here is 100%. All right, 100%. That means each little one is 10%. And in trying to keep in the spirit of theme, color, and coordinating everything, I made this purple. So 100% is the entire bar. From one end of the bar to the other end is 100%. That means each little one, since there's 10 of them, is 10%. 10 times 10 is 100. Or 100 divided by 10 is 10. From here to here, each one is 10%. What they're telling us, 10 is 20% of 50. So the 50 means the entire thing from here to here, here, come on green, there you go, from here to here is 50. And they're saying that 20%, 10 is 20% of 50. Well, how much is each one worth? If all of it's 100% and the whole thing's 50, we have to just evenly divide that 50. Put into each little square. 50 divided evenly into 10 squares is really 50 divided by 10, which is of course 5. So this is worth 5, this is worth 5, 5. And so if you test it out, you say 5 times 10 is 50. So we're good there. Now what do we got? They're saying 10 is 20% of 50. Well, is that true? If we take our highlighter and we go 5, oh, I want highlighter. We go, let's back it up just a second here. Clean that up. Here, highlighter, 5, 10. That's 10. Is that 20%? Well, lo and behold, look right up yonder. That is 20%, 10 and 10. Beautiful. Okay, so now that we've shown how 10 is 20% of 50, these are the 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, the question might say, what is 20% of 50? Or what is a percent of any number, right? We're just using 20 and 50 for these examples. You might get, or what, 10 is what of 50%? So in this first one, we are trying to find the what. And the second one, we're trying to find the what here, which, you know what I'm saying? It's a different what. It's the percentage. All right, so, okay. What's the last one we're going to try to find? Well, what if they try to tell us the total? Okay, so this is the total. So we got part, oh, that's right, part, total. Let's back up here. So here, we're trying to find the part. Here's the part. What's the part? Okay, then this one, we're trying to find the percent. What's the percent? And then the last one, oops, we're trying to find the the total. What's the total? That's what they're asking us for here. All right, so let's take a look. What is 20% of 50? How would we figure this out? We would say question mark is means equal what is, and then 20% of means multiply, and then the total is 50. We can go back to what we said back here. You can solve by either fraction form or decimal form. Let's take a look at that again. Let's just use decimal form. I think that's going to be probably the best way, easiest way at this point. So something is, now remember, decimal form. All we got to do is multiply 20 by 100. That's just the same thing as, well, this is 20 over 100. It's 20 divided by 100. Remember, the fraction form is this, 20 over 100. It's 20 per 100. So we're taking 20 divided by 100. And that's the same thing as moving the decimal 2 times to the left. So we really don't have to do a whole lot of work here. Just imagine that the decimal's right here. Move it 2 times to the left. That's the same thing as dividing 20 by 100. So the decimal's here. We'll put 0.20. Times 50. And if you do all the math, you're going to get your answer over here, which is 10. You have to trust me on that one. I'm trying to show you how to do it. How you do it's more important than the calculations. Okay, fine. I want you to show your work, so I showed my work. There it is. I just did my work. It's 10. Let's go to the next one. How would you do this one? 10 is, it equals, there's our question mark, is some kind of percent. And I'm going to put the percent sign there so we know that we make sure I put our answer as a percent. And of means multiply 50. Let's solve. So, this is the same thing as saying 10 times something, no, 50 times something equals 10. Or we could say that 10, let's see, 50. Aha, 10 divided by 50 equals that something, right? So it's like saying, okay, let's just pick a simple case, a simpler case. We're going to pick a simpler case to kind of demonstrate how this works. Let's say we have 4 equals something times 2. No, let's pick it. I don't like that number because you can confuse multiplying and adding when you use 2's and 4's. So that's not the best simpler case to use. So let's use 6 instead, and then that will be a simpler case to use, where you're not going to get confused with 2 times 2 equals 4 or 2 plus 2 equals 4. So in this case, we'll put, what if we put a 3 here? How would we figure out what this is? Well, we would just say the 6 divided by the 3 equals this number, right? Or if we, and that of course would be, in this case, it would be 2. But what if we changed it? What if we said, okay, instead of putting a 3 here, what if we put a 2 here? Aha, now we say 6 divided by this number equals this number. In this case, it's 3. Right? 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now let's get down back to our real case now that we did it. We kind of did a simpler case to help us understand what we're doing here. Now let's get down to the more sophisticated complex case that we're really dealing with here, that we've been asked to deal with. So we say 10 divided by 50 is going to give us our percentage equals what our percentage is. And if we do 10 divided by 50, you get 0.2. I did my work, haha. But what is that as a percent? Remember, we have to now multiply this by 100 out to change a decimal back to a percent. And that's the same thing as moving the decimal twice to the right. So I'm going to go a 1 time, a 2 times, and put my little 0. And now my decimal is no longer there. It is here. All right, so that's 20%. Is that what we started with up yonder, 20%? Oh, we gotta make sure that's a percent. So if we put our answer up here, let's erase this and put 20 in purple, 20%. Yeah, that's what we started right here. Now, this last case, here we go. 10 is equal to 20% times something. And our times in orange. There we go. Times something. Now we're trying to figure out what the green thing is. So just like we did over here, and we saw that to reverse it, we can do the same thing here. We can say 10 divided by 20 will give us this answer. Let's see if that works. And before, if I see if that works, I want to point out this what the question mark here is saying something times 20. Well, by the way, this 20 has to be in a percent, a decimal. We can use the decimal form, or we can use the fraction form. And I'm kind of partial to the decimals right now. So anyway, something times 20 equals 10, or we could say 10 divided by 20 equals that something. That's where we're going to be right now. So I wrote down 10 divided by 0.20, but now I have to move this decimal 2 times because we cannot long division. By the way, if you use a calculator, you could probably figure this out faster. But anyway, in the meantime, kind of brush up on our long division skills, especially with decimals. It's not good to have any decimal digits in our dividend or divisor. Divisor. This is a divisor. The 0.20 is a divisor. The 10 is the dividend in this case. So that leaves us with 1,000 divided by 20. And upon completing the calculations, you get a 50. Ta-da! And we are done. And as always, pride, passion, purpose, power. Peace out, Panthers.